catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Good evening. Welcome to Storytime. Today we are so excited. We are here for a great event. I'm so excited to be here with Miss Diamnd of the Diamnd Foundation. And this is a domestic violence awareness event in Raleigh, North Carolina. And we have a great panel here today. And if you saw some of these faces this last week, today we're going to get a little bit deeper for you. We're here and we're excited. So first, what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the panel and have each person to introduce themselves real quick. And we're going to start with the founder of Diamnd Inc., Miss Diamnd. Diamnd, say hello.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. The Diamnd Foundation mission is to help homeless teenagers, women, and men dealing with domestic violence, and to shine a light on all the abuse and stuff that's going on, and also sex trafficking. Something that's not talked about a lot, but you have a lot of kids are being missing, a lot of adults are being missing, even men are being missing. Not just mental abuse, but physical abuse.
All right, thank you so much. Next we have Miss Geraldine Alshami. Did I say it right? Alshami. I mess her name up every time, y'all. If y'all from Raleigh, North Carolina, you know who I'm talking about. A community advocate doing amazing things here to help people to get many things accomplished. Welcome. Say hello.
Hello to the audience. Most of you know me, many of you don't. Geraldine Alshami. I've been doing social justice work. This is year 52. So I won't go into what's been done, what I've just let you know. This has been a long time doing this work, and I'm still here, still continuing on with the work. Peace and blessings, everyone.
And then, of course, I have a good friend of mine, a sister of mine, Miss Deirdre Bruton, and she is here to use her voice today for this important topic. Say hello, Deirdre.
Hello, everyone. My name is Deirdre Bruton, and I'm just here to represent those who may have thought it would never happen to you. As a first time and last time domestic violence survivor, I'm here to shine a voice to expose the abuser. So that's why I'm here.
Amazing. We thank you. We thank you so much for using your voice and for just being brave. That's what's important. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Nikki Hemby O'Neill, also another advocate for domestic violence. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. As Crystal said, I am Nikki Hemby O'Neill. I am here to sound the alarm and to help break the silence for those who are at home or probably in a domestic violence relationship right now. I want to help you come out, and help give you resources to help give you emotional stability, and to know that you are not alone, that we are all in this together.
Wow. And then, of course, when all these things happen, you have to have resources, right? You have to have a way to definitely deal with the trauma and everything that goes on. And this young lady here is an English teacher, and she has a creative way to help anyone who has gone through this deal with that. And we definitely want Janae to say hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Janae Falami. I'm an educator, an artist, and I'm also an advocate and supporter of domestic violence and mental health awareness. I use my art and poetry as a way, I use my art and poetry for trauma and a way as therapeutic methods to be able to heal victims, which is quite effective.
Okay, so we're here today to talk about domestic violence, okay? Thank you all so much. And I know before we get into the panel, we have a couple of things that Ms. Genevieve would like to have some individuals to share with you. So we're going to kick that off. I'm going to throw it back to Ms. Genevieve, and she's going to bring up her special participants that's going to take us to the next part of the program. Ms. Genevieve.
Hi, I would like to bring out Jessica Hicks, and she's gonna be doing spoken words.
Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, it's a privilege to be here. My name is Jessica Hicks, and I come from a small family with my testimony of seeing abuse from first on as a baby to being abused by lovers, friends. And it's pretty much of a trauma that led to my life of where to be an advocate and try to help other young women and children and adults and men. It's pretty a privilege. I'm nervous a little bit, but it's a privilege to be here. I want to say to the people, like, you have to reach out to get your help. You can't stay quiet when you know and see the red flags. First off, you have to trust your instincts and proceed to get some help, because if things could get worse, then better. And they always get worse than better. And I just want to say to anybody out there, if you need help, don't be afraid to reach out. There's always help out here for you. You just have to speak up and speak out and stand for yourself. And if you have kids and other people that you love, let's just rise up and take a stand. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate you. Do you have a piece that you're going to share with us? Do you have a spoken word piece that you'd like to do for us today? Oh, she's putting you on the spot. Okay, that's okay.
Oh, you said a poem? Spoken word. The spoken word for today.
You got a poem.
Okay.
From your heart.
Be right in your
Yeah.
living room, right in the living room.
I would just say for like the spoken word is you have to reach out to someone in order to like receive the help. But if you don't reach out, it's like taking yourself under back into fear. Like once people see, it's like certain people, they notice and see fear, and then they take that and then they put that in control and they use it upon you. And that's how the first red flag that I noticed about myself, because I'm real shy and timid and lovable. I wouldn't hurt nobody. I never did, but coming up, I get a lot of people down, like especially me folks. I would just say, like, just reach out. That I just want to say that's most important, because some people don't reach out. Some people are not here today. Like I don't like talking about it, but I had a close friend of mine. She was unalive by someone that she loved. So first of all, you just have to reach out and take that step and leap of faith, because if you don't, it could cost you your life or someone else's, or pretty much your own. But this what I got for this one word.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And so now also we have a young man here from White Tiger. You'd like to have to share about self-defense and why it's important. And so Michael, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me today. My name is Michael. I'm with White Tiger Taekwondo. Excuse me. And I wanted to share the story of our school a little bit, which I think is apropos to this event here. But first, I wanted to point out these very lovely, very strong women that we have on our panel right here. And they are very, very strong women for, I'll get out of the way so you can see. There you go. Oh, right here. I'm sorry. Okay. I wanted to point out that these are very strong women that we have here bringing these topics to the forefront. But not everybody has that type of strength, at least not yet. And martial arts is one of the ways that we can help do that. We can help bring you your confidence up. It's not about how many forms you can do or how many boards you can break in martial arts. It's about becoming a better person and raising your confidence level and your respect for everything. It's a way of life. But to share the story of our school is White Tiger, was founded by Rhonda McKee, and I don't know how well you can see that on this, but that's a little picture of her right there. Rhonda McKee grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and when she was a young woman, she was violently attacked on the streets of Detroit. And the attack left her with some very permanent injuries and disabilities. And after the attack, when she healed, she went to the Detroit Police Department and she asked them what she could do to defend herself. She asked them about obtaining a gun, to which they said, no, we weren't going to help you do that. Pepper spray, taser, anything of the like, and they said, no, we weren't going to help you find a weapon. And the reason that they said that was because any weapon that you have can be taken away from you and it can be used against you. So she asked, what possibly can I do to defend myself? And they said, this right here, your fist. And that's all that they had. So she took up martial arts and she started in Taekwondo. She trained for several years in several different disciplines and eventually even closed her graphic design shop that she started in Detroit and moved to Korea to train, where she became the only non-Korean to ever perform for the Korean Tigers martial arts performance team that traveled the world promoting martial arts. This was in the time before political correctness, so her Korean teammates often referred to her as the White Tiger, hence the name of our school and how it came about. And when she retired from there and moved back to the States, she found Raleigh, North Carolina to open up her school, White Tiger. And she wanted to bring the life that she had done in martial arts to the community. And she specifically wanted to teach women and pretty much everyone about personal self-defense. But she realized in all of her studies through the martial arts that what they were teaching in a lot of the martial arts was not practical. It was great if you were a 20-something, very physically active and athletic, very showy in Hollywood-type martial arts, but it wasn't always practical to use. So she developed a curriculum that could be used from any age, from 3 to 93, based on your size and your own experiences, to help defend yourself. And she even developed our Lady Tigers program, which is a curriculum that is very highly regarded throughout the martial arts community now, to help women develop the confidence to be able to fight back. And that's really what it is all about. It's not just simply about taking down an assailant, as many people have come and asked me about, hey, you're going to teach us to take down an assailant today. And that's kind of the wrong mindset. What we want to do is to be able to get away with as little fighting as possible. And it starts with basic maneuvers and basic holds, moves up to joint manipulation and teaching you how to defend yourself using everyday objects like your cell phone, a water bottle, your credit card, anything that you may have on your person at the time, all the way up to much more advanced techniques and even disarming people that have weapons.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
How can using my credit card protect me?
Using your credit card? Well, let's say you're at an ATM machine and you are simply taking your money out of your ATM machine. Somebody comes up behind you and all you need to do is to the throat with your very sharp credit card.
Wow.
And we will teach you various ways that you can use that credit card to very specific points on the body, to specific joints, specific areas of the body. The face, the throat are very common areas to strike with when you need to protect yourself.
Wow. And the cell phone?
Cell phone is the same way. Cell phone, think of a cell phone that you're carrying along with you as somebody comes up and striking them to the side of the temple or striking them in the jugular vein. With your cell phone, your cell phone is very hard and it's usually very handy for you to have. Same thing with a water bottle. Your keys can be used to the face or to the chest or anywhere in that area, to other areas as well if absolutely necessary. Even a rolled up magazine can be enough to just give you enough effort and time to get away from your assailant.
Wow. Excuse me. So how can people reach out to you to get more information? And is this only for Raleigh? Because I know you're in the Raleigh area. As you go places, can they bring you out to their city?
We do go out to other places. We no longer have a physical location. We've evolved past that. At this point, it got very commercial to have just a physical location of a school. So we do a lot more things for the community. We hold seminars and individual classes for people. So anybody can reach out to us. They can reach out to us through Messenger on Facebook, which is White Tiger TKD at Facebook. You can reach out to our telephone number at 919-469-3553. Or you can even email me directly, and I am michael.whitetigertkd@gmail.com.
Wow. Any age limit? My last question, age limit. 'Cause
We
I
will
think-
treat, we even have a program that for 3-year-olds. We will teach 3 to 5-year-olds and specific self-defense techniques for those 3 to 5-year-olds that we wouldn't teach for adults because it wouldn't be practical for them.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Anything else that you'd like to share that I didn't ask you?
Well, martial arts, as I said before, is more than just how many forms you can do and how high you can kick or how many boards you can break. It's about giving yourself the confidence to be able to fight back. We want to be able to give you that confidence to let you know that you are never defenseless.
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking time to be
Thank you
here. We appreciate you definitely.
Thank you.
And man, Genevieve, that's good. That's good. That's good. So I know that this is your vision. So tell us, do you have someone in mind that you want to start with here?
I would like to start with Deidre.
Miss Deirdre. Okay, so Deirdre, you when you spoke to us last week, you said something that stuck out with me. You said, I didn't know I was going to be here. This is new to me. So talk to us, because you are a new person who had just got in this arena, and there may be someone watching who is living it right now or doesn't think they will ever be in this situation. So what would you say to them?
What would I say to them? Pay attention to the signs. Don't ignore the signs when you find yourself in a situation where you're being, because it didn't. I mean, it didn't happen. It was a situation where I was dating this person for over a year. So I had no idea that, I just felt like they could be violent towards me, but I never thought that they would be violent towards me. I thought that they loved me too much to, hurt me.
Wow.
And I just think that I was deceived. I allowed myself to be deceived because I wanted to see the good in that person. But there were really red flags all along. Now that I have time to step back from that situation, I can see that I was verbally and mentally abused. And when I saw it when it was happening, I remembered getting quiet. So I found that although I wore a smile all the time, people know me, they don't know me as Jovial D, I'm always smiling. But what's behind that smile? What are you dealing with? Do you have low self-esteem? Do you need to seek counseling for yourself? And I would just say, advocate for yourself. Find a friend, find someone that you trust. And because it can happen to you.
Wow.
If you give off those, it's like pheromones. They can sense fear. They can sense, wanting to control you and isolate you from family and friends. So just know that you're not alone. There are other people out there just like you. You do not have to suffer in silence. So.
And you said something important. You said that at first you kept it to yourself. You didn't share it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who go through that because they feel ashamed and they don't want to tell their family members what's happened. So I just want to say I'm glad that you were able to break through the silence. And you said, listen, I'm going to use my voice now. And so we want to say to anyone out there, if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling like you don't want to say anything, I want to say to family members, don't be so judgmental. A lot of our children, our siblings, our spouse, and our family members don't come to us because they feel like we're being too judgmental. So we have to stop that, and we have to listen and don't judge. There was a big TikTok out there a while back, a big reel going around, and it said, listen and don't judge. That is real.
Wow.
That is so real. Geraldine, what would you like to add to what she just said in regards to just a person going through this for the first time and you being an advocate like you are? What would you say to those that may be watching that might be afraid to use their voice, and they're sitting in it, they're staying in it because they can't see their way out.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know what to say to a woman who's afraid to get out of it because I've not had that experience. So I can't speak to that. You know.
Okay, okay. But what you could say is, I can ask you a different question. I'm going to direct that question to Nikki, and then I'm going to come back to you and ask you about what could we do in the community to help the women, because you're a community advocate, to help the women or men or children that are going through this scenario. How can we be useful with our organizations and with our voices and the things we do out here in the community? Nikki, what would you say? Because I know that you have been through this.
To the question of what can we do?
To the question of, if there's somebody watching that just don't know how to get out, they're afraid, they don't want to use their voice, they're timid, they're staying in it because they can't see their way out.
Well, first I want to say there's a way out. And as I was sitting here listening to the ladies, I had wrote a little something that I do want to share with the ladies. I just want to say, don't silence your voice. For you, make the right choice. Walk away today. Make up your mind. Do not stay. Make a decision and take a stand for you and your loved ones. Don't wait through abuse until the dreadful day comes. Break the silence. Come out from fear. And reach out to your domestic violence sisters, because we all are here.
Come on now, you just wrote that, girl.
Yeah. So I just kind of jotted some words down to say that, because we do sit in fear. I probably dealt with a combination of like all the abuses, financial abuse. For those women who are in relationships or marriage and they have never paid a bill, seen any money, one income, and he controls everything down to you getting your womanly things every month, and he holds them things from you, that is abuse that we don't talk about, financial abuse. People sit back, and even though we say don't judge, they do judge. Why can't you leave? We know, because we've been there. So if you reach out to one of us, we can help you with those resources where you don't have to depend on that spouse or that man for financial reasons. We want to think about you and your safety and your loved ones.
Yes.
If you stay too long, your children who's watching this, and this passed on to them, because they do grow up and they do follow the same patterns. I also want to say I dealt with emotional abuse, where they toy with your mind, those narcissistic behaviors where they make you think you're crazy. I dealt with the isolation, where they don't want your family members around, your loved ones around, the ones that are going to check on you, the one that's going to see about you. I had loved ones threaten not to even come in my driveway. So it's so many different abuses that we don't talk about. Sexual abuse. For those women who are out there and they're married, and because the Bible says, or they think that you belong to them because you're the wife, and that everything about you belongs to them. The Bible says that, but not in that context. But we have to follow the land of the law. And the land of the law says that if you say no, no is no. And if your husband is sexually abusing you, then that is rape. And he can be locked up for that. There's so many different abuses that go on. And I just want you to know that there is a way out. You don't have to stay and be tormented. Make the call. Save your own life. There is a life after traumatic experience and domestic violence. There is a life after that. You can recover. You can heal. You have to be strong enough to walk through the process and be ready. You have to be ready to not ever return to that situation and have your life at stake. So take the step, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. Take the step to walk away and save your own life. First, make it about you, because your loved ones are going to be without you. Your children are going to be without you. So you have to have the strength to love yourself enough to have the confidence to know that there is a way out.
Wow. And this is taken from a woman who has been hospitalized, been in the hospital for many years. I mean, was left for being unalive And she's been through to the highest degree. It affected her children. So it's definitely going to be there. And I haven't forgotten about you, Miss Geraldine, but I want to go to that part, the healing process, because our children go to school.
Exactly.
You as a teacher,
Yes.
is it noticeable when you're in the classroom when these children come from traumatic homes and situations?
Yes, you definitely can identify with that. Usually what I've noticed, they'll try to be more clingy with you, try to want to see you more in the office. Also, absence, they miss a lot of class, work changes, and then me being an individual that I'm quite approachable, I'm relatable to my students, I love them, they know that. I'll ask them what's going on.
Yes.
And they'll go ahead and they confide in me. And again, anyone who's been in an abusive relationship have to be able to be comfortable. Am I correct? Be comfortable with someone they confide that type of information with.
Right.
Confidentiality.
Yes. That means if you're in a teaching profession and you're not just doing it for a paycheck, be approachable.
Right.
Yes.
Pay attention.
That's right.
See the signs. Know your students enough to know when they're starting to cling and do
Yes.
those things like that. Now, if they come to you, you have confidentiality and you hold that, or do
Yes.
you have to report it, or how does that work?
It depends. It truly depends. For example, I remember one of my students just recently, and I knew he had some issues because he was dating another student and she kept trying to stay away from him. And he ended up coming to my office and he said, well, Professor Washington, what's going on? Why, I don't know what's going on with me. And I actually directed him to the student resources, like maybe you're going through some depression, maybe something's going on with you. Nonetheless, about a couple weeks ago, he ended up unaliving his girlfriend.
Ooh,
Yes.
Jesus.
And I wish, and I wish I could have did more for him. I wish he'd have reached out to me first before he could committed these acts. But again, we don't know what's going on in the mind. But again, I did know that something was wrong. I did know that one of the students was lucky she dodged a bullet because she stopped talking to him, and just for this to happen. So he ended up unaliving her, and then he unalived himself.
Wow.
That was quite hard for me. Yeah.
Wow. Jenny, and you see some of these when they come to you where you
Yes.
work. Talk about that.
Okay, so mental health starts when you're young. You don't wake up one morning, and it also starts with abuse. When you send your child to school and you telling your child that they're not good enough, the only thing they don't think about school, they think about what you said to them. You're not giving them a positive outlook. So they get in trouble at school, they're cussing the teachers out because you're cussing them out.
Mm.
We are our children first teachers.
Yes.
So if we're doing drugs, anything that we're not supposed to be doing, and they're gonna do it, you can't say, well, okay, you can't do it because I'm doing it. It doesn't work like that. Mental abuse is mental abuse. Physical abuse is physical abuse. We teach our children, especially our boys. You have to start at a young age. Open the door for a young lady. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. You have to let people know. You have to let your children know. You have to be a parent. First of all, you have to be a parent. There's so many people out here thinking that clothing their children and buying them stuff is teaching them. It's not teaching them anything. I have so many young black men that's locked up right now, all because they wanted somebody to tell them no. We have a problem with saying no. Say no to your kids. They want shoes, let them go get their own shoes. Teach them. Because when you teach them, they know how much $1 is. They're not going to go out there spending money. Teach them self-worth. Because when I say mental health is dangerous, that's why we have so much abuse going on, because young boys are not allowed to express themselves. If I'm sad, I need to feel sad. I need to say I'm sad. Young girls don't know how to express themselves. And then you have a lot of people that have daddy issues, mommy issues. All that is the trigger to why we have so much people that's in prison now. When young boys are cussing out their mom, it's because they have no respect for their mom. When young girls are cussing out their dad, they have no respect. So guess what? They start looking for their mother figure. They start looking for their father figure. They have no respect for themselves because nobody taught them how to be respectful. They'll cuss you out in the streets. They don't care. They take your life. They don't care. Right now at the prison, it's like a boys' camp. And I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of seeing people come to prison bragging about abusing women and nothing's happening to them. When I say it's a boys' camp, you get to play basketball all day, you get a laptop. What punishment is that? You're not teaching them anything. And you got young people in there for life, all because somebody didn't take the time out to say no. No. There's nothing wrong with saying no. No.
Let me ask you this. I heard you talk about the conversations they're having. You said they're bragging about it?
They're bragging about it. I should have beat up that bee. I should have killed that bee. You know, when you don't have respect for human life, you don't care. You don't care. And we have it, and I'm sick and tired of consequences. The consequences is us, okay? When people say, oh, I want them to come out of prison, at what cost? They're damaged. Not saying that people cannot redeem themselves, but when you have somebody that's quicker to pull the trigger and take your life and beat you to death, it will do it if you let them out again. Why? Because they have mental issues. Everybody have mental issues, and that's the game that they play. Oh, I have mental issues. So the court system say he cannot stand trial because he have mental issues. So he sits there. He doesn't come back out, but he's not able. The court says he's not able to stand trial. So you're looking for your life because it's been so many incidents where people have killed. This one man, he killed his whole family. He cut his daughter's neck off. Okay, he had 2 girls. The mom took the other girl, right, with her, and left the youngest one with him, not thinking nothing was wrong with him. He hadn't been taking his mental medication, his medication. So he cuts his daughter's neck off, then get on a plane and act like nothing wrong. And you know what? They sent him to Dix. He stayed there 6 months and he's back out.
Wow.
No consequences.
Woo, man.
No consequences.
On that note, Geraldine, what are we going to do? What are we going to do as a community? What can we do with all this taking place? With the kids going to school and they, cleaning, the first time offenders, they're in jail. What can we do?
Let me start by saying, first of all, everybody on this panel just said a whole lot. I want to cover 3 points. I may not cover them, but let's talk about what do we do before we get to the prisons.
Right.
What are we doing?
Right.
First of all, we keep talking about mental health. We keep talking about whatever, but the World Health Organization, as we all know, mental health is not available.
Right.
It is not available. So we can stop that lie.
Right.
They need to go get some help because it's not there. And
Not effective.
Exactly. The World Health Organization, looking at low income and middle income countries and the lack of mental health resources, has suggested that communities begin to look at community-based solutions. We have not always gone to mental health institutions. Let me start out by saying this. You talk about parenting. I'm gonna do a little history.
Go in on them. Come on, let's go.
We cannot expect folk who don't have skills to give children skills.
Come on now.
If they don't have the skills, they don't have them. So let's start back. Let's start with trauma. Let's start with generational trauma.
Right.
Let's start with generational trauma. The first thing that we have to understand is that we do not know how to parent. Let's be honest with you. The word train, we all know, train and raise. What word do we use? I raised them the best I know how. I raised them. Well, you don't raise children, first of all. You raise chickens, hogs, cows, and windows.
That's right. Come on. You don't raise them.
You train children in the way that they were. But if you don't know how to train them and you've never been trained, let me tell you why you don't know how to know why. Because first of all, let's take black women. Let's go back to the DNA of the black slave woman. I'm gonna tell you a story of my grandmother. My grandmother, I lived to see my grandmother. I was 30 years old when my grandmother died, and she had a lot of stories. My grandmother always told the story of when she got pregnant by the slave master.
Mm-hmm.
And what she said was that she never saw her baby. She never got the opportunity to see her child. From the time it was born, and that was the culture of so many women, particularly because of slavery. So when the baby was born, she never saw her baby. The baby was taken at birth, and it was given to another woman on the plantation. Why? Because it was the master's child. She had to work that plantation for 7 years. And only after 7 years did she get to see that child. And when she got to see that child, she had to take as a spouse, because they didn't marry, but she took as a spouse a young man that was on the plantation who had to become her husband, and she had 6 more children by him. Point from that. If you are a woman and you are being raped, children taken from you at every minute, are you going to attach to those children? You detach from those children in the womb. In the womb. Why? You know you have an obligation, and that's what most of us came up under. Our parents knew that they had an obligation to take care of us, but they didn't know how to love you, and that's why they didn't hug you. That's why they didn't kiss you. That's why they didn't say, "I love you."
That's good.
That's good.
They didn't say those things because they couldn't say those things, because how can you love something that you're going to be taken away from you? You detach from it. You raise it. You put it in a house. You put your children in the house. You make sure they got. That's why we look at clothing, things. That's why we say, I want you to have better than I had, because you're talking about things.
Right.
Because you've been made to believe that it's the things that make you valuable.
You teaching.
Wow, you're teaching. Hold on, I got to stop you right there. She said something. She said, train up a child in the way that they should go. Talk about that, dude. That's the word right there. That's the word, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
It's so odd that you should miss that. My mother used to tell me a story about how when she was born, because her mother fell down a flight of stairs. That's what they said. And I'm not even gonna go to the personal thing. 'Cause I used to think somebody may have pushed her. Domestic violence. And my mother was the fifth child the fifth child, and she was the baby, and she grew up without anybody hugging on her. So when that touched me when you said that. So my mother made it a point, as she raised us, to hug us. We were a very affectionate family, and loving and all of that stuff. Because of that, she missed out on that. She really went over and above beyond, and just was there excessively. And it wasn't so much about the things that she gave us, but she trained us, how to be respectful to our elders, how to, clean up the house and be feminine, be women, because she had 3 daughters and she was a single mom. And, I always pride her how she raised me, how I tried to raise my young girls too. And that's my son.
Wow.
So that's all I can say about that.
That's it. Now, take it back to the classroom.
Yeah.
Is it obvious?
Yeah.
Is it obvious for those children coming from a home where there is no training?
No training at all. I have seen students come into the class and, actually even hit a professor. They knew not to do that with me.
Pittsburgh in the house.
I established that from the beginning. And again, kids need to have rules.
Yes.
Boundaries. And when I noticed, I told all my students, one of my students is here today, I always tell my students, do not come to my class late. Don't let me beat you here. You got a certain time, you got a certain amount of time to get here. After that, you're not getting in my class, because that means that you don't respect my time. No texting in the class. In high school, they allow the kids to, text or whatever they got going on there. So when they come to college, they feel it's the same thing. They can learn to do the same thing. Not my class. If I'm up there teaching about Socrates or Aristotle, and you're texting, that means that you don't want to learn and you're disrespecting me. So once you establish those rules from the beginning, they knew Professor Washington was not going to tolerate any mess, and I didn't.
Wow. I want to add something to it. You know, when you talked about the hugging, it made me think, you know, we as parents, we have to know that what we do, the actions we take or don't take, it affects our children. And not only just hugging, but just saying I love you.
Yeah.
Just saying I love you. And you know, I had a person in my family that I say I love you to sometimes, and it takes them a while to say it because they just haven't had it. And I was somewhere visiting not too long ago, and I watched an old childhood friend saying to this person as they were leaving, it was two men too, and you know, men don't do that. He was saying, okay, bro, I love you. And he was waiting for the other young men to say it back, but he would never say it back because he came up in a house where they didn't say I love you. So there are people who are being deprived of this affection through words and actions. And so we have to take a look at what we've done. And it's not too late to change it. Okay, so if we start today or tomorrow, if you recognize you haven't been doing it, have the conversation. We're having a conversation today. Have that conversation and say, listen, I got to sit you down. And how do you have that? Well, first, you put away the phone. Yes, ma'am.
Let me take that a little bit further. Let me take that a little bit further, because a lot of times we spring from one place to another, but we don't go to the root causes.
Okay, let's go to
We
the
don't
root.
go to the root causes. In order for any mother, I don't care, let me tell you, how many of you have had men that said, I love you, I love you, but he won't show it. There are plenty of parents that do the same thing. There are plenty of parents that do the very same thing.
Empty words.
Empty words mean absolutely nothing. But when I talk about taking it from the roots, I'm saying that we all have to take a look inward, because the reason why we are giving into, listen, our children are being born from the womb, and this is why I advocate for children with disabilities so hard, is because first of all, you have got to freaking understand that these children have mental health illnesses from the very beginning, from the time that they come from your womb, when they're suspending them from daycare, what I call the pamper push out, because these children are violent, because these children don't have self-control,
Right.
and you are ignoring it.
Right.
You are ignoring it
That pamper push.
because you say, ain't nothing wrong with him, he just bad, and you're laughing. You're laughing. That's one thing. But the reason why that baby comes there and comes here like that is because the parent has some issues
Yes.
that we didn't address, and we still won't address. The parent has issues. You have issues, whether it be from your environmental trauma, from your physical relationship trauma, or from the trauma that was passed down to you through your DNA.
Right. So it's time for you to take responsibility.
I'm gonna tell you what you do. I'm gonna tell the community what you gotta do. The first thing you got to do is you got to admit that there is trauma, whether it be environmental, whether it be individual, whether it be from the police coming through the community, whether it be from sit down, boy, our children, our little black boys. If you don't believe it, a little black boy, you got to tell him what. Look that person in the eye. Don't keep looking down like that. Where did it come from? It came from playing the dozens. It came from playing the dozens, because what the black men did during the day, they would back in Jim Crow day, they would talk. If they look in the eye of any white man, he would be hung. He would be
That's
killed.
right.
So that trauma passed down through these children, and these children will not look. The black boy will not look a white man or an adult in the eye.
Right.
You got to tell them it's okay. So when we start to acknowledge the trauma that we have from birth and start dealing with that trauma, when we start to acknowledge that we do have some mental health issues, and I'm going to say, World Health Organization was right. Back in the day, where did you go get your mental health from? You ran to the church.
That's right. They said it was the house.
You ran from the church. But let me tell you another way. And we provide this through indigenous processes. There's an indigenous process called a peacekeeping circle. The peacekeeping circle was a process that people did in the community who were indigenous Indians. The peacekeeping circle was the center of the community. Like you got your government now, like you got your courts now. that center was the center of the community. In Zambia, the way they do it is they call it Ichiwanzi. Ichiwanzi, you got an Ichiwanze, you got an Ichiwanzi. Ichiwanze is the place for the women to come, and they come together. They talk about the issues that are in their communities. They work together to resolve those issues. Don't matter how long it takes. There's a voice for each one to talk to. There's a way for them to connect to each other, to connect to each other's problems, to listen to what each other is saying. They sit with each other's children and they talk to each other's children and they tell them, no, you don't, this is auntie. You know what I'm talking about. This is auntie. This is uncle. You know, they are taught right there in the center of town. In my community, my father was Jamaican. We live so far back up in the woods that you say he has a meal in the daylight. You know?
Yes.
Isolated from people. And being isolated from people, you know, we heard certain things or whatever, but we weren't exposed to people.
Now let's stop right there.
Let me finish this part right here. We weren't really exposed to people, but when we moved out of those woods and we moved up on the farm, white people, black people, it didn't matter who you were. What they did is they came together. Those white women, they shared those recipes with black women, shared their recipes. They taught each other how to cook this. White black women taught them how to cook greens, and they taught whatever.
Yes.
Some of the black women, my grandmother for one, protected all the women, black women or white women, from domestic violence. Nobody didn't come up in her yard and mess with her.
Yes.
And you didn't mess with that woman that she brought into your
Yes.
yard. So what we have to do is we have to go back to the old ways. We
Yes.
first got to acknowledge the trauma that we have been through, the trauma that we are living in right now, and we got to have a safe place
Yes.
to be able to talk about those things.
Yes.
What we offer is the peace. The Mary Magdalene Ministries offers the peacekeeping circle. It is a safe place. It is a safe place where you can come and you can talk about and you can admit, yeah, I punched my baby in the chest. You know, I can't help it. I mean, I get mad, and before I know it, I didn't hit him. See, you got to have a safe place to be honest about stuff.
Now that organization you running?
That's the
Okay,
it is
so
it is
basically,
a program that I
Okay.
run. But my organization is Mary Magdalene Ministries, but the Peacekeeping Circle is a process in which we address trauma.
so you allow people to come. There's no judgment.
No
And so
judgment.
you don't have to worry about going to the court system or going somewhere else. You can go there, be safe, and it stays there. It's in confidentiality, and then you guide them through the processes.
We
and
talk
get
it
them
out.
what they need.
Let me tell you something. There is no problem that people cannot solve if you have a place to talk about it. Because
Yes,
you can come up with your own solutions.
yes,
You can come up with your listen. If my self-esteem is so low that every time I think that my value is in the way I look, my clothes, my this and my whatever, then a man is always going to be able to fool me.
yes. Wow, wow.
He's always going to be able to take advantage of me because why? Because you don't care about yourself.
Right,
You
and they
don't-
can see that.
And they can see it.
Yeah.
And they can see it. I had a man tell me one time, "You weak."
Mm.
They know you weak when all you care about are things.
Yes,
Your hair, your lashes, your this and your whatever. And I talk to men right now who are going through they call it intimate partner violence. These women are so messed up.
so say that again. Intimate partner violence. So they're in a relationship with this person.
They're in a relationship with this person. It's called intimate partner violence. And when I tell you that there are so many men out here to this day who are being victimized, who are being abused, who are sitting in those jails, not because they beat up a woman, but because a woman whipped his ass.
Yeah, right. And you know what?
And flipped it.
Yeah.
Flipped it because when the police come and all, because I've done it myself. All that woman got to say is he beat on me, and they're not going to believe that man. They're
Right.
not going to believe that man. And
Right.
there are so many men now that are can't get jobs, can't get this because these women have done this intimate partner violence,
Yeah.
you know, and caused them to get records and this thing and that thing. So that's so much. There's so much. I mean, at this table, we can't even talk about it if
Right.
we sit here till 12 o'clock tonight.
That's right.
But what I will say to community is you have got to come to the place where you don't have a problem, with being able to connect to one another, because all of us are got the same issues. I don't care what color we are. We
That's
can
right.
find one somewhere, or one or two, three, maybe somewhere where we can connect. The word tell us do what? Testify to one another to renew your strength.
Yes.
So until we get to the place where we can begin to sit down and testify to one another, talk to one another, and help to build that strength, we are always going to be. The world has taught us that materialism. If you look good, if you drive a good car, if you that's what self-esteem is about. It is not.
It is not.
It is not.
It is not. That's right. That's so good. And I thank you so much. That was good. That's good. Man, you said a mouthful, right? Oh my goodness, we have to do a session just with you on just all of that you spoke about, because that's a topic in itself.
Right.
But I do want to say this part. We have to have those conversations, because when you talked about from the woman perspective, when I told my daughters that I was going to moderate this event today, they said, well, did you share your story? I said, I keep telling y'all I haven't been in a domestic violence relationship. They said, yes, you have. Yes, you have. Well, see, but my daughters were little. So to me, I didn't own it because I was never hit on. I was never hit on. So to me, I wasn't in a domestic violence relationship. But to the children that see the furniture on the floor, they hear the noise, everything ripped up and all that, because I was that woman that if you spent the money or you came in and you stayed out all night, getting high, whatever you did, I came in angry and I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I'm standing at the door and you want to come past. No, you can't get past. And so the sign that the children saw in their eyes is the same thing.
Right.
So we have to be so careful, because it's all the same. If you're arguing and they hear you in the other room, cussing each other out and yelling and saying those words, it's all impacting the children.
Yes.
And when I realized it is when I saw one of the family members I have that is allowing this guy to hit on her, and another one. And then I said, dang, I had to ask myself, what part did I play in it? Because even though I didn't get hit on and stuff, we still exposed them.
Right.
We exposed them to what wasn't normal. So we all have to be real careful, and we have to take ownership of what part we play and go back and have those conversations and apologize and say, listen, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that's not normal. And explain why it happened or whatever, but really have those conversations. It's so important. But Nikki, I want to come to you because I want to ask a question. So after being through all this, a lot of times when women go through this domestic violence, they feel like they can't start over. They feel like they're damaged goods, and they feel like nobody's not going to want them. They're not going to want to deal with the baggage. Can you talk about that for a moment to the woman out there who may be afraid to speak up because they feel like if they speak up, nobody won't want to deal with them?
Yeah, that was big for me. I had so many, coming out of the hospital, I had so many emotions. I mean, a lot of emotions, all at one time. Fear, hate, anger, shame, embarrassment. They were all working, fear of my life because they hadn't caught him yet. It was a manhunt, had to wait days to hear, I had to take this outside my room. And, I'm thinking when I woke up, tubes everywhere. And I woke up from being, everybody's waiting for me to wake up. So I wake up and I have tape and stuff all across my face and all these tubes running. I can't talk. So I'm thinking like, when my voice is going, and the first thing I'm looking at the TV is on silent, but I see my house going across the screen.
Wow.
Then I see his picture and I see that they're still looking for him. So I'm trying to find out like what's going on, but I wake up and I look around me and I just feel wet tears over top of this tape because I can't believe I'm alive. And so many, like I said, different emotions is like erupting, and I'm like, ooh, I guess life was pretty much over for me, even though it wasn't over for me, So I didn't have my phone at the time, but I remember getting my cell phone, and I remember so many people sharing, hoping that I wake up, shared the news clipping of all the different news stations had it, my face. They don't went in my Facebook thing. I'm like, Lord, they can't break in your Facebook. They don't went on my Facebook thing and got all my pictures off of me. And I see my picture up there, and I got all these people reaching out to me on my phone. And my husband, there was one of the people who was reaching out to me because I knew him prior to being married. We had dated, and he had wanted to know if I was okay, but he also had left me a message, singing like this is after I got out of the hospital. He had also left me a message singing that see if you had stayed with me, you would have never had to go through.
All right.
You would have never had to deal with any of it. I would have never took you through any of this. So, it was not a funny time, but it was one of the things that made me smile because I'm thinking, what man gonna want to deal with me? And then I got this crazy person that's been trying to take me out. Like, he not gonna always be locked up, So I was thinking, like, nobody's gonna want to be bothered with me. Like, social life is over for me. Didn't want to go outside. Stayed inside for a long time. The hospital was trying to put me on all this medicine, Valium, to sleep because I wouldn't go to sleep. I was too scared to go to sleep. And
Wow.
yeah, I was too scared to go to sleep. And how it affected, you talk about affecting the kids is my daughter was there, when she finally got my ex off of me. He reached back to get her off of him, and she got swung and hit in the face. And but she was traumatized more so than I, because she watched it. She tried to help pull me out the door, and she couldn't get me out. She couldn't get me out the door, and I just remember saying, "Get out the house, get out the house," because I done been punched so many times. I actually did see the stars.
Wow.
When they say you see the stars, I actually did see the stars. So I'm on my knees at this point trying to crawl out the front door. As I'm coming out the front door, I just feel a push to my back, and I'm trying to scoot away, and I'm scooting back, and he just immediately started stabbing me. But I'm just saying, yelling, okay, trying to yell and everything. So my daughter, I guess she ran down the street, but then she seen him, so she came back, and I don't know if it was a rock or a brick that she picked up or whatever. She hit him. It required him to pull the knife out, but I was holding the knife with my hand and didn't realize you can't even see a slash in my hand.
Wow.
And as he pulled it out, he went back to swing at her. And like I said, she got hit. But until she knew I was okay, she wouldn't even get seen by the doctors. But that caused me to have a social service case because she was under the age of 18.
Wow.
And she got attacked by this man. So I got this man in my household, and he's attacked my daughter. So now I got social services coming, into my home to make sure that I can protect her. Then I have a daughter who's autistic who watched it, and she was just standing there screaming like, "Get off my mom, get off my mom," like she couldn't move. But I can hear her, even though I can't help her.
Yes.
Because he's a big dude and he's on top of me. So I'm just sitting there listening at her scream, and I'm listening, seeing my daughter fight. But she basically, saved my life. If she hadn't got him off me, he would have continued.
And so children have to be protected because they're there, and then parents look out for yourself because you wind up with a social services case.
And not only that, I had a grandson that was in the bed sleeping. But to the grace of God, he stayed asleep through the whole entire thing. Somebody had called my other daughter, and she didn't live with us. She had her own apartment, and her running trying to get there got pulled by the police, and like they were harassing her. So many different things can happen.
Yes.
When you involve the kids, and there's much you do get over it. You get past it. I'm still healing. As you can see, sometimes it still makes me cry. But like I tell people, cry, get it out. Because God is catching every tear that you cry.
Yes.
And every tear that you cry, it is bringing healing. It is bringing my children. It is okay. I used to think, oh, I'm embarrassed. I cried. No. Because it is so traumatic to have to think that you could have been going away from here.
Mm-hmm. And oh God, I know, Jenny, you have a story too.
I told y'all the last time we got together that I was raped by a friend going to a club. I looked at him like a brother. So he had put something in my drink, and I didn't know what was going on. All the friends I was with had left. And he was like, "Come on with me, come on." And I'm like, okay, I've been knowing this person for a while. And my brother's crazy. So, but went to his place, still like when somebody give you a drug that it's not like you drinking and you drunk and you know what's going on. This is like you feel like you can't move your arms, you can't really do anything. I was driving, following him, it was raining, and I'm swerving. Thank God, I didn't get pulled, but I'm going like this, and I get there and I'm sitting down, and he puts a gun to my head. And I was like, you know what? I work in a prison. If I was okay, I could be able to defend myself. But at this time, I couldn't move my hands. I couldn't do anything. I just felt so numb. I was like, I just thought about my kids. And so I acted like I got my phone and I played with it. I called my daughter and I told her to call me right back. And so when she called me right back, I said, oh, I gotta go. And I grabbed my stuff. I was still didn't have no clothes on. It was still raining. I grabbed my stuff, got in my car, pulled off, still under the influence, and I parked and just cried because I'm like, how did I allow this to happen to me? And a lot of times people say, why do you press charge? When things happen to you, it's a process. You have to detach yourself. Once again, I work in the prison system. I feel embarrassed. Who can I call? If I call my brother, he's gonna kill somebody. I can't live with that because I know my brother. Anybody in North Carolina knows my brother knows that he's crazy. Okay, when it comes to me, he do not play. And y'all met him today when he came through. He does not play about me. So who else am I going to call? I didn't have anybody.
And that could be our children. I know, Deirdre, you said that. You said, Lord, my son will hurt somebody.
Yes. That's exactly.
And my son's
My
crazy
son did
too.
want to hurt somebody. He
My
would not
brother
stay.
did.
He did not leave my side.
So what do we do, ladies? What do we do? So we don't keep it to ourselves. So are we protecting our family? Now, we have just been victimized.
Yes.
But here we are protecting our family members, and we don't want to call them, but we need them.
Okay, so like I said, it's a process. Okay, it took me a while. When I started this company because the Lord told me to do it. For one, because I asked him what to do.
Yes.
It had been a couple of years. I was going to the gym, and then I see this person that did this to me.
Woo!
And I was in the gym. I took the weights, and I was gonna hurt him. Like I was gonna do him some damage control. I didn't care about working at the prison. I didn't care about anything. I just wanted him to hurt the way I hurt. I used to go to TJ's. He used to be at TJ's. My friend Bobby, he went to state. And I told him, I said, that's a rapist. That's a rapist. And so Bobby handed him up. Bobby said, what you doing to my sister? And then later on he came and he apologized. This is what I talk about being under the influence. He was high. He claimed, oh, I don't remember what happened to you. I'm so sorry. I have sisters. I have a daughter. I would have never done that to you. Because he was high and he don't know what he did.
And I know people who have been in that predicament and they had literally forgave the person. And sometimes they say forgiveness is not for them, it's for you.
It's for you.
And I know it's not always easy, and that's a process. That's a process, But like you said, at some point you may see this person, and you talked about going after them. So ladies, what would y'all say about getting the courage to press those charges? Because somebody's watching this or will watch this in a replay that's living it. They're living it. Have y'all seen those videos and those reels where the ladies are on the plane and they're slipping a note to the flight attendant on the bag? And these are real life scenarios. People, and y'all better know about these scenarios. And I see if you want to come up and ask something, you can. These are real life scenarios, and we do need to know about those scenarios. I mean, there's a time where somebody, because you want to talk about sex trafficking too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. I don't know if y'all paying attention. There's a lot of kids coming up missing, y'all. Yeah. I just shared something on my story today. There's a lot of male, female adults, truck drivers, and people coming up missing, going to work, and get missing in the building. So we gotta be paying attention to all this stuff. But pressing charges and really knowing. And Michael, if you want to say something, because I saw your hand, or you can speak, but if you want to speak, I want you to come up so they can see you, because I saw you had something to say. Oh, you wanted to point?
No, he was mimicking what I'm doing. This right here is help. This is what people look at. You open your hand,
Open your
close
hand.
it, and you go like this.
You can do it behind
Yeah.
your back.
You can do it behind your back. That
So
is
is it-
for
is
the
it-
national hotline.
The national-
It's like a national
It's a
signal that
national
everybody's
signal.
doing. So if you walk by somebody, you
Everybody
can put it
take
up
your
at a
hand, do it, so
window.
you know what it is.
You can put it behind your back and do it.
Oh, yeah.
You can do it like this.
Some do like,
Wow.
well, they like,
I didn't know that.
So what's that you just did? That's another one?
some like trying to like hide them in, if they like sit beside them or they do like.
Okay, okay. Because sometimes they're watching you so close to you. If you're with somebody, sometimes they don't let you out their eyesight. But at some point, you have to be able to go to the bathroom. You know, you might say, I need to go to the bathroom. And if they give you the space to go in the bathroom, you know, sometimes there's a lot of things.
And another thing that's gonna save your life, people pay attention, okay? They might not seem like they do, but they pay attention.
Yeah.
If you can slip somebody something, or even if you go up to somebody and hit them,
Mhm.
you know, now I hit you. Now you're gonna be like, what's wrong?
Or you gonna
What's
cause
wrong?
a scene.
Yeah.
You're gonna cause
Yeah.
a scene, and that's what the
And
person
then
don't
they're
want.
gonna look at you and
Yeah.
say,
And that's what the
something right.
person don't want, because he's gonna like, come on. Now you know something's going on. Well, he didn't want somebody to know something going on.
Yeah.
So you have to think when you out and about, please, ladies, when you out and about, know your surroundings. Don't go the same way all the time. Don't let anybody just come up to you. Don't be afraid to say, get away from me.
That's right.
Even when you go to the gas station,
Yeah.
you have homeless people coming up to you. Yes, I give money to homeless people, but now I pay attention to what they have on. Everybody that come to you are not homeless.
That's right.
And make sure
Okay.
your doors are locked, because
Make
there
sure
are-
you,
Yeah.
there are people that you stop and thinking you about to give homeless, and sometimes you ain't giving them nothing out the window, and they will pull on the handles of your door.
And jump in.
That was going on a lot on Capitol Boulevard,
yes.
where people was pulling up, and the people that were standing there, it was tugging on their door handle.
Wow. And share your location with your family members.
And that
Share your
happens a lot.
location on your phones so they know where you are. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to go a step further, because a lot of things that we don't talk about is sexual abuse in the home.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk about it. Sometimes it's fathers, and it's most of the time it's a family member.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
90% of the time it is a family member. And I'm going to share one more story, and which is my brother molested my daughter from the time she was 5 until the time she was 12 years of age. She ended up with a child, pregnant. And one of the things that I never thought would happen was how my family turned against me. And y'all, they turned against us because of what we've been taught. We've been taught to be ashamed. We've
Silenced.
been taught to be silent, not to mess up the family name.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You know, but I'm going to say this to you. I don't care whether you're male, whether you're female. We are charged to break vicious cycles.
Break it. Tell it.
That's
Tell
it.
it.
Yeah.
Tell it. Tell it. Yes,
Vicious cycles. Please, don't be. My mother turned against me. She told me the reason that my daughter was pregnant. She said that I was a bitch and my daughter was a bitch.
Wow.
I'll never forget the sting of that. But I asked God not to let me disrespect my mother. So what I said to her, I said, if your daughter's a bitch and your granddaughter's a bitch,
Okay, then what are you?
what does that make you?
Okay.
We have got to have the strength to stand. We got to reach down deep inside of us. And that's what all of us got to do. This is what all of us got to do. And what we do in these circles is
Yes.
we stress. finding the God on the inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Finding the God
Mhm.
on the inside of you, because that's your power. To always know to do the right thing, to do the right thing. Speak up and speak out for the sake of the next one that's coming. You may got sisters and brothers, you may got cousins. Speak up for the sake of the next one coming along.
Yes, yes.
My mother and I, we finally got it back together. You know why? Because I understand that you cannot do what you don't have the capacity to do.
Yes. Yeah. And if I could add to that, when I interviewed the young lady who was a investigative journalist, and she helps with the missing, lost, and sex trafficking. She has a page on all platforms called Missing, Lost, and Sex Trafficking. If you go to Storytime with Shop Crystal, by the way, subscribe, y'all subscribe, okay? If you go there and you look at all the different episodes, I did her, I think, like 2 or 3 Sundays ago under Pebbles Wilson, and one of the things she said was what you just talked about. She said, a lot of these missing kids, when they talk to the parent or something, they will hold the information because they don't want nobody to know about their family. They don't want nobody to know about their dysfunction in their household. So rather than find their child, they're holding back because they're ashamed of what's going on in their home. You know, so that's deep.
And guilt. I carry a big amount of guilt. People will make you think that you're the problem, like you either raped yourself or attacked yourself. And you carry the guilt. But what I want to say is forgive yourself.
Yes.
Forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, if you don't tell your person inside of you, I'm sorry for putting us in this position.
Yes.
I'm sorry. And forgive yourself. You cannot break through the wall that you need to break through until you forgive yourself first.
Yes.
For being put in there. I felt guilty for putting my kids in it and other family members. Oh, it was all on TV, making the family look bad, making look bad at the church. What? You have to be delivered from people and their mindset. And you have to be strong enough to put yourself first, because you will hide in those shadows and always be walking with your head down, shame and guilty. But you have to make a decision not to let nobody make you feel that way. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah.
And if you don't know nothing else, you should know right from wrong. No matter what nobody try to make you feel or what they tell you.
That's right. Now your incident happened how long ago?
2018.
2018, and she's using her voice stretching out. But I have to give kudos, y'all. Y'all have to help me out. I have to give kudos to Deirdre, because Deirdre is fresh in, not even 30 days. It hasn't even been 30 days, and she's here using her voice. And so I tell her all the time, I'm so proud of her because you didn't get stuck in that fear, in that. And she has her moments. But she said, the devil is a lie. He will not silence me. I sing and I'm going to talk to, and I'm going to get through this. So in that process, is it helping to be around women like this, to have a Nikki to call and to have people like that?
Yes.
To the person who might be feeling what you felt, would you tell them, don't give in to that? Like, reach out to somebody?
I mean, I had a breakdown the other day because it's waves, like, and you really see yourself when you go through this, when somebody violates you like that, you know, even though I won't say it was just this, it was a punch in the face, and it felt like a 2x4 hitting me in my face, and it felt like the wind, just like knocking sense into me, because I had to wake up from the dream that I thought I had with this person, I guess. And I sometimes.
But it helped. It helped.
But it helped.
It helped to have this circle.
It helped to have this circle of people. It helped to have Nikki, because I thought I was, I thought I wasn't going to wake up from the hurt and the pain. And I had to call y'all that day, and y'all got me back on track. It was like,
so speak to the woman that's watching this, that's feeling what you felt.
Advocate for yourself. Like she said, forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation. I almost put it like this. Sometimes we as women, I was molested as a child, right? So I think about my mother having to be a single mom, working different hours, having to leave me with somebody that she trusted, that thought that they would never hurt me in their home, but I did get hurt, and my mother never knew about it till I was grown, and I told her, I said, Mom, you didn't know they was molested? And she didn't know. But I know that she would have never left me there had she known they was gonna hurt me. So I say that I had to forgive. So it's like I put myself in this situation with this person, and I had to forgive myself for putting myself in that relationship with that person.
Can I explain that?
That's how I
Yeah.
felt. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
With this
Let me explain this
situation,
part.
I had to forgive myself
Yeah.
for putting myself in that relationship, because it was almost like that same thing when your mother, leaves you in the home with somebody. She didn't mean for that to happen, but it happened.
And believe
And I didn't mean
your
for this
children.
to happen to me, but it happened. So I forgive myself, and that's what I need. That's what I need to do. So you can take. Go
I
ahead.
don't know, this is not directed at you,
Okay.
but I want to say this, and I want y'all to hear this. When we're talking about children that are being molested, many times children, you hear children say, people who have been molested will say, I have to forgive myself. You know why they asking to forgive themselves? Because the body has a biological function.
Right.
The body has a biological function. You will have an orgasm. I don't care if you are being molested. And many children, many young people who do not understand this, blame themselves and punish themselves. This is why you see so much abuse, so much mental illness. They punish themselves because they'll say, it felt good.
Wow.
Not understanding that it is
Wow.
a biological function,
Wow.
that you're going to feel that anyway. So talk to your children.
Yes.
Talk to your children. Forgive yourself. You ain't forgiving yourself because you put yourself in that predicament. You're forgiving yourself for feeling. You're welcome.
Yeah. Now I want to go to the teacher. So when people go through these things and you have a system, but you want to say something before you do. I'm gonna let you speak first.
Yes, indeed. You open the can of worms a little bit. Definitely with the molestation and dealing with that, being hurt as a child. And, that's something that you don't, it's touchy, it's a sore. And you took the Band-Aid off a little, but
It's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would talk about.
Yeah.
Hurting women.
Yeah. But
Let's talk about it.
catch my composure.
That's why we need to talk. That's why we need to
Yeah.
circles.
But my daughter told me recently, you have to pay attention to your kids, like you just mentioned. You have to pay attention to them. My daughter mentioned something to me. She stated that when she was in kindergarten, now my daughter's 30 years old now.
Right.
And she said when she was in kindergarten, she would get pushed in the closet.
Wow.
And she actually just told me this not too long ago. And that hurt so bad because so many children go through so much. And what I noticed is it's like a pain. Hurt people hurt people.
Yes. Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people. And it's a revolving door. Like usually when someone deals with someone who is in an abusive relationship, that's usually not your first time.
That's right.
Wow.
It's not usually your first time.
Right.
And I have friends that have dealt with being in an abusive relationship, either mentally, physically, spiritually. You got spiritual abuse too.
Yeah. Right.
There's a whole bunch of types, different types of abuse.
Lord.
Mental abuse.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is usually not the first time they had to endure such abuse. They think it's going to be better the next time. The person, and then us as women will tell our partner what happened the last relationship.
Yeah.
Hoping that this partner or new partner will do better. But they're just doing the same thing. It's like you're attract this type of spirit. You understand this type of spirit.
That's right.
But Kennedy
And that's
said,
why we have to
Kennedy
get
said,
healing. That's why
don't
we have
tell
to
them
get healing.
everything about yourself.
Yeah, don't
Don't be
tell
telling
you
these
never-
men everything
you
about
never-
yourself.
you never-
Don't tell them all about your past.
Because what
You
happens
don't
is
have to tell
use
them.
it against
Right,
you.
and I did that.
You carry the vibe. You don't have to
It's a
tell them.
manipulation.
Right.
You carry the vibe.
Yeah, you do. I used to think it was written. I always say, is it written on my face?
No, you
But you
carry
know
the
what?
vibe.
It's
But
in
you
your
know what?
spirit. It seems like I'm a very spiritual person.
Me
So
too,
that's
me too.
very
Me
spiritual.
too. I feel stuff.
And you can pretty much feel someone's a good person, bad person,
Right.
but you also project that energy outward.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you understand, the demons, I mean, the devil's
That's
not,
right.
he
That's
gonna
right.
try.
You got it.
He gonna
Yeah.
keep on nipping and keep on tucking. He's
Yeah.
gonna keep on, his job is to destroy you.
Yeah.
And you almost got destroyed.
And the
And he
devil,
knows
yes,
when he walk up to
that's
you.
that's not even that's
You know
not
when
even
he walk
half
up
of
to
the
you,
spiritual
you know,
journey,
Yes.
because I was molested as,
Oh my.
and it was
Wow.
by an uncle. So when you're
That's
such
why-
a,
that's why
like,
you
yeah.
talk.
when she said it and then you said it, I was just like, and you said it don't, that's usually when you're attacked, it's not the first.
Mhm.
And it was crazy that in my marriage, you know, that at that time, you know, that husband would sit on the pulpit.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
He sat on the pulpit. And the thing
That's
is,
what the devil
all
does.
through the marriage, I dealt with attempted rape.
Mm.
And the night that I got stabbed, I woke up to him trying to pull my clothes off. And I was holding my knees tight, like, you've been, you know, on drugs in and out of this house. I don't know where you at the next night from the next night. And I don't know where you've been. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna, women get AIDS from their husbands that's out there in the street.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not finna give me AIDS. I'm not finna be, you know, sleeping with you. And he said that he was tired of me denying him. And I was his wife and I belonged to him. And he just began to let loose with punches. And like I said, I hit the floor. So it was crazy that I was molested as a child for a lot of years. And I ended up telling the school. And the school contacted my parents. And he wouldn't take the test and all of that stuff. But I went through that. And to have that cycle keep showing up.
It's revolting.
Like, what is it? Like,
My grandma used to tell me this, when it comes up to physical abuse. Very spiritual lady as well. You met grandma, you know grandma, very spiritual, very. And I remember she said, this is what men do, or this is what an abuser will do, to touch you softly first in your face, like they're playing. Then the next time they're gonna knock you off. That hit gonna get harder. And they just keep on. And the signs are there.
Yeah.
But if you already, like you just mentioned, if you already been through these revolving doors, being young, like get to that root.
Yeah.
right.
If you have been abused as a child, those are things, you know,
You carry.
you carrying that spirit.
You're accepting.
You're accepting it,
You're
and you're carrying that spirit on because you have not forgiven yourself. You don't know how to forgive yourself, and you think this is normal to be subjected to this type of abuse, and it's your fault.
Right.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah,
if you
in some ways you
if you
think-
don't get it out your head that the other person did.
Yes, that's it. Genevieve, I see you.
But you know what? As women, I hate to say it, but it's daddy issues.
Mine is a daddy issue for sure. I lost my dad in the
Most of
tragic
the
car
time,
accident.
if you with your single mom and your dad is not in the picture, it's because of daddy issues. And I say that because your first love is your father,
And I'm a daddy. I was a daddy's girl up until 8. My father
and it's the opposite for
got killed when I
boys.
was 8.
And when you're going out, you're looking for that person, and that's the
Oh,
problem.
you mean you're looking for me?
Yeah, because you don't have that daddy issue. You constantly searching for somebody to fill that because you don't know who you are. So you're looking for somebody to fill that
Identity.
gap.
So
You're
that
looking
boy-
for somebody to say, I love you, because you didn't get that.
Mm.
And then you meet the certain guys, like I say, you meet the representative.
The
Yeah,
representative
exactly.
always
You meet
shows
the
up.
representative. The representative
Representative
gonna show up for a good month. For a good month.
Lord God.
He's gonna be on his best behavior.
Yes.
But when you go somewhere, you're gonna know that he's not the one, because he's gonna start cussing out every other woman.
Mm.
You're gonna go out to eat and he's gonna say, bitch, where's my stuff at? You didn't bring my food quick enough. And just know that's gonna be you next. That's gonna be you next. And when people start saying, where you at? When you coming? What street you going on? How long it's gonna take you to come home? That's abuse.
Drop the location.
Drop your location. That's abuse. Why? Because now I'm gonna micromanage you.
That's what happened.
You can't have friends.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
that
have-
isolation.
I'm gonna
That's
isolate you.
that's
I'm gonna
that isolation.
micromanage you. I'm gonna tell you you don't look good enough. I'm gonna
Sometimes
tell you nobody else
trick it
wants
off and
you.
thinking, oh, they love me. That's
I'm gonna tell you nobody wants you. You know your
Or
family
you
don't
gonna
like
get, or
you.
you gonna get that man killed. I heard that
Yeah.
when somebody
Yeah.
speak to you or talk to you, and them
Oh my
people
God.
probably ain't studying you. Gonna get that man killed.
Yeah.
Or having to work on your job and security, you have to park your car right in front of the security in the front of the building.
Mm.
Security have to walk out and get you on your job and walk you in the building and walk you out.
Yeah.
stalkers.
Wow. So if you are hearing these stories and you deal
Oh my
with
gosh.
any of these things, know that you need to get help. What is the number? The helpline, is it 9888? Is it 888?
It
What
is.
We're gonna give you a number that you can call. But
One
I also,
800.
that number, what number is it?
1-800-799-7233.
Yeah.
1-800-799-7233. Or you can text 88788. 88788 for help.
So if you're in a situation and you can't dial a number and you can get those quick numbers in for a text that number.
Right.
Let me
You
give
know.
another number. Let me give another number. This number is for those who are going through, living in this trauma every day, in denial, wearing masks. I'm going to give you this number, 919-523-7687. That's 919-523-7687. We want to offer you a space within a peacekeeping circle.
What place is that?
I'm sorry?
What's you said it's called peace. Oh, okay.
It is a peacekeeping. It's called the community peacekeeping circle.
Okay.
And it's the place where whether you're women, whether you're men, whether we go to where we come in, and there's a safe space, one where we can build relationships, where we can identify what that trauma is and get to the root of that trauma and dig it up. But let me tell you, the only way to kill a tree that stands is you got to get to the root.
Okay.
You got to get to the root. And because we're not getting to the root, and because we're not being honest about what's going on, we don't feel safe. We don't want to be ashamed. We don't want to shame people. We are not getting to the root and the source of the problem. And peacekeeping circles give us that opportunity to get to the root, where it's a safe, where it's a deep conversation, but it is a safe conversation. And that's where you're going to find your healing.
And do they get counseling or what comes after they make that call?
What comes after you make the call is we engage you in a piece. I told you, people find their own healing. These psychiatrists are not healing folks. These counselors are not doing nothing but giving you a bunch of drugs and whatever. What gets that mess out? And listen, if you got something growing on the inside of you, if you don't get it out, you're not gonna heal.
That's right.
You got to get it out your mouth. We are we are people. We carry vibrations.
Yes.
You either function on a low vibration
Yes.
or you function on a high
That's
vibration.
right.
Yeah.
And we got to stop functioning on low vibrations. I ain't good enough. I don't look good. I need to lose some weight. You might do. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop functioning and building our lives on these low vibrations and move to a place of I am healed. I am wonderful.
Goodbye.
I love it.
I love myself.
Yes.
You know, those are those high vibrations that, because you are children. Listen, I can go deep.
Yes.
But what I'm saying to you is that those of you who claim that you know God, Jesus Christ did not come into this world right here, but just for the forgiveness of sin. He came into this world so that you can know your power, so you can be like Him.
That's
He
right.
said greater things that you would do than He would.
Yeah.
Why? Because He's trying to help you come to be like Him.
Right.
It is your mind. It is the things you speak.
That's right. So we have to
Word
make sure-
sound
and
has
that's right.
power. Keep
That's right.
speaking negative
That's good.
stuff. Keep running into negative environments and see what you get.
And she giving you the word, y'all. The word says, as a man thinketh, so is he. You know what I'm saying? He said it, you know.
Power in the tongue.
You've been hearing the word all through this. But I also want to tell you, you see this beautiful picture. This beautiful picture was painted by Janae. Janae is an English teacher. She's an educator. She helps people to channel that energy, to deal with their pain, to deal with their trauma, to find ways through different avenues. So I want her to speak a moment on that because, like Geraldine said, there's so many issues. We can't touch them all. But what we want to do is we want to open you up enough to make you have a conversation with whoever it is you need to have it with, whether it's your children, your spouse, your siblings, your parent. If you heard something here that triggered you, that moved you, that you felt that means you need to be having a conversation with someone. But I want you to know how you can go about starting to heal. So I want Janae to speak about how she does that, what she does, and she'll tell you about services she's going to begin to offer to others, but just a little bit about this painting, what it is, and what she does, and why it's important.
painting for me is my therapy. Painting for me is a healing process for myself. It helps me, and it's a way that you can pour out what's inside and be able to express it differently. As you see in this picture, I think I mentioned this before, you see the scars on the neck. It's abstract, but you can see the scars. You can see this person. You can't make out if it's a woman, man. I didn't want to make it a gender so much, but it's up to it's up to the individual who views it how they want it to be. They interpret it differently. However, this painting came from just a dark place. I had surgery. I had surgery in April 21st, and during surgery, I had neck surgery, and I ended up having a stroke during the surgery, after surgery, that left me paralyzed on my left side of my arm. So that's why you see the shoulders kind of slumped over on the left side. You see the bruises, the marks by the heart, like you see the heart area where it's red at. So, yeah, so it felt like I didn't have a face when this doctor was operating on me. It seemed like I was just there with no face, if that makes sense to you guys. And that's why you see the eyes kind of shut. However, what I try to do with my students, even prior to that, what I try to do with my students is try to get them a way to be able to outlet their hurt, their pain. It works for me. And usually, I mean, hey, why not share with others? And it has been successful. You know, because most times people go to different routes. Sometimes people find different uses: drugs, alcohol, sex.
Yes.
And I've seen that even on, working on campus. I see that. I'm like, hey, let's try something different. Let's try some painting. How do you feel? Who are you? Who am I?
Yeah.
How did you feel when this occurred to you? How did you feel at that time that this violence happened to you? And as I noticed that my students start drawing, they like it. It's therapeutic. Even with writing, who am I? I'm a poet. That's what I like to do.
Yeah, so you have a poem that goes with this picture?
I have a poem to go with each one of my pictures. I put that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we definitely want to hear the poem you have. And I want to give you
Yes.
your flowers. It's working because the student is here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you give a round of applause, y'all. So if your student takes time out on your off day, on the weekend,
Yeah.
to come support you and be a part of what you're doing something right.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, actually, she graduated. She actually graduated.
And she's still connected.
and
See
she's
that?
still
So that's
connected.
even more powerful. Even more powerful.
Right.
So
Wonderful.
keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Thank
So
you
can you give us the piece that goes with this picture?
I got something, actually, hearing everyone's story. I have something that is more, I think that you guys will be able to understand.
Okay.
And the one poem that I'm going to do is called Tearing Hearts, later on, I guess later, when it goes out. And that should be able to resonate with each and all of us.
Well, how about we do it like this? Because I know we can go on and on and
Okay.
on. I know people may have to go. They may not be able to stay here too long. So how about you give us the poem that goes with this? Then I will let everybody come back and give a closing statement and remarks, anything that they want people to know. In that closing remark, I want you to give your contact information if you want people to follow you, kind of like your elevator pitch, okay? And kind of summarize what you want people to leave away with here today from you. Okay, what you do, why you do it, your mission, and your contact information. And then we'll come back and let you do the second piece.
Well, okay. Go to the next slide. You can go all the way to the one to move in. That goes with that. This
Look
one
at
here.
this artwork, y'all. Look at this artwork. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is for sale too. Huh? So make sure when we do your summation, you let people know how they can purchase this stuff too.
Y'all ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I should sit down then while I'm
Yeah,
doing it.
relax. You good? Because
I'm doing animated and I put
If
it.
you want to stand up, stand up.
Okay.
You want to stand up, you can stand up, but I don't. They got
I'm fine. I'm fine. So this poem is called Tearing Hearts.
I can't see you.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you, and I didn't see you.
You guys see that?
I don't see
You want to be able to see her. Okay.
All right. So this poem is called Tearing Hearts, and this, we talked about the recycled trauma that individuals do go through. I'm not, hey, I've been through it as well, but different type of trauma, and that's where this poem comes from. And if you see the painting right there, I did this painting for mental health awareness, because all those things go together. All those things go together. So I'm going to do tearing hearts, and I have to use my paper because I had a stroke. I can't remember everything like I used to, but just bear with me. All right. My first glimpse at you was something sincere. Should I give my love? I dare. After all the past tears my heart still wears, giving my heart, I'm scared. Should I share? I once gave my heart to a first love, of course, who crushed it, deceived it, and left me bare. Should I continue, my dear? My second love just didn't care. He was worse than the first, who left my heart in pain and hurt. The next promised to never leave me in the pain that my past lovers did. However, that lover was the most clever. After planting a seed, he indeed suggested to end the breed. Take me to the clinic to kill his seed. Now he's free. I'm left with scars belly deep. At night I quietly weep, prayers to God my soul to keep. How do I keep my heart from completely tearing? As before, I will ask you, love, can you love me dearly? If not, let's stop on the start so I can remain to hold on to what's left of my tearing heart.
Wow. Yeah. Now, I know that she was a poet. So, I mean, guys, I just want to tell you, man, I just appreciate y'all being transparent enough to share. Everybody shared a lot, and you may have shared more than you thought you were going to share when you came here because we triggered each other. You know, we triggered each other. And that's a good thing. That's why it's so important, like Geraldine said, that we have these circles, that you have people that you can connect with and talk with. Make sure you have someone because everybody needs somebody. You know, we have to have that. It is so important. And I encourage you, and there's agencies out here like your Interact, like Geraldine's place. She'll tell you about what she's going to be doing, Nikki, when she gets to her. But there's people who can be there for you. So make sure that you find that person. But you're not alone. You're not alone. So we hope that you heard something today that will help you. And then on the 28th, I'm going to have another session. Also, my last airing for this topic, even though the world says domestic violence is this month, we have one more this month, and then we're going to come together, all of us, and we're going to do this again. And this time, we want y'all to come out and be here in the live place. Bring somebody you know that needs to hear this, whether it's your daughter, your sister, your cousin, whoever it is, your son. We're not leaving the men out, you know, so bring those people out. But at this time, I'm going to let Geraldine say something, then I'm going to have each person. Matter of fact, say what you're going to say, then I'm going to let everybody do the closing.
Okay, another topic that we didn't touch on
Yes,
is sex trafficking.
Yes.
It's very important as parents that you pay attention to your children. Don't just take them to the bus stop and drop them off. Because you have pedophiles that go around the schools trying to figure out, you know, your child's route. When they see you drop off, that's when they move in. Also, if you have teenagers, you have to teach your teenagers not everybody's your friend. Don't be so willing to go with people because what's going to happen, the new thing now is you got older kids in school that's trafficking the younger kids. Why? Because the kids want to be popular. You know, they want to be inviting. You know, you want to say, oh, I want to go to the party. So what they're going to do, they're going to take your child. They're going to act like they're friends. They're going to come to your house, meet the family, everything. Take your child out, go get missing, and then your child's going with somebody that they don't know. And it's happening every day. There's a whole nother movie out there.
And it's a big story right now.
And don't send your kids to the bathroom by themselves. You have grown men that's in the bathroom with dresses on.
Woo.
Or women.
Or women. You need to be mindful. We talked about domestic violence. We talk about physical abuse. We talk about mental abuse. But we need to talk about saving our children.
And one more thing, Jenny. What about those parents who take your children to Walmart and to the shopping center and you just let them run raggedy? Just let them run around, do whatever they want to do whatever they want to do. You have got to pay more attention to your children.
And even as adults, be mindful when you go to the store at night and when you go to the gas station. Now they're putting stuff on your doors, a zip tie. They're tracking you with your car and you don't even know because you have stuff in your phone. You got ear pods in, you're not paying attention. You don't know how many times somebody's walking back and forth or circling around you
Or under your
because
car.
you're like this or under your car. Now you have people that's in vans that's coming close to your car and saying, "Oh, can you help me?" You didn't say no. How did you get here? How'd you get here? Because you know what? They working together. They working together because the first time they stop you and you engage with them, you got somebody behind watching you. Because this person gonna talk while they gonna kidnap you, and then they all gonna move on, and nobody's gonna know what happened.
That's true.
You have to be mindful when people come up to you, approaching you, wanting you to buy stuff,
Wanting you to
give stuff. And also we talked about being at the gas station. This happened to my mom and my daughter, pumping the gas, not paying attention. My mom gets in the car, my daughter gets in the front seat. They're talking. Nobody looked back. A guy slipped in the back seat.
Wow.
My mom started yelling at the top of her lungs and he got out. And I tell people every day, when you go to the gas station, your back needs to be facing against the pump like this. You need to be able to see from your right to your left who's around you. When people come up to you asking you for money, make sure your door's locked.
Yeah.
Lock your doors while you pump your gas. And if they say no, I am a firm believer in spraying it with some gas and saying I kind of match. Because if it's between me or you, it's gonna always be you, boo. If I say I don't have no money, I don't have no money. And then you have to speak it with authority. You can't be like, I don't have no money. No, they're not gonna listen to that. I don't have no money. Get out of my face. That's the way you need to start speaking. Because you don't want to be a victim. We're not being victims no more. We've been there, done that, it's over. So for the next person that think they can roll up on somebody, I'm telling y'all, we got a guy right here. He's gonna show you what to do. Give him a call.
Yeah, we're gonna have a class. We're gonna have a class. We all gonna come together. We're gonna have a class, and we're gonna let you learn self-defense. We may have another class where we go to the gun range. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things because it's a process. We might get invited to church.
And not,
one of
and
us.
not just gas stations and those places. Because in night there at Chick-fil-A, me and my grandson was there, and a Caucasian man walked past the first lane, walked straight to my window before I could get right there to tell them my order. He crossed in front of all of those people, and he was just like, I need your help. Can you? And I was like, you can help me by moving away from my window, or it'd be messy. It's about to get messy.
Right.
And he looked at my face. He was like, well, okay, sorry, ma'am. I'm just that serious. And my grandson, he just not. He was just like, bro, move. You know, he was even being protected. So how can you be at the screen and roll your window down and somebody pops right behind the screen up to your window? So you have to even be careful ordering your food.
Yeah.
They'll even show up at your phone too. You don't even have to move. Random people will do that.
Yeah, so it's so many things. And this, I just want to say one last thing too before I have everybody do the summation. There's a lot of content creators that share a lot of reels and a lot of videos. And some of it people think is entertainment, but a lot of it is not. It's real life situations that content creators, I guess I'm a content creator also, that we use to bring awareness. Because we want you to understand this really does happen. So take it seriously. Have these conversations with your young children and your family members, and just make sure. Have you seen that? Do you know about this? They go, no, seriously, it really happened. I know someone that this happened to, and you have to make people aware and hold each other accountable, share locations, and do all those things because it's rough out here, y'all. It's serious.
It is.
It's critical out here in 2025, and you have to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay. On that note, I'm gonna come to you last. I'm gonna go Geraldine, D, Nikki. You want her before or after you? Because I know she has another point.
No, I'm done.
Oh, you're done? Okay. And then so Geraldine, D, Nikki, and then I'll come to you next. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, give us a summation. We want to thank y'all for being here. Let's give a round of applause, y'all. We want to thank y'all for being here. And when you see this, once again, Storytime with Shop Crystal, please on YouTube, on Facebook, follow me, Crystal Boogie Smith. Share this video. Somebody needs to see this. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needs to know this. Okay? Ms. Geraldine, closing comments. Make sure you give us contact information as well and sum it up for us. Everybody, a 2-minute, 3-minute summation.
I don't know if it'll take that long, but what I'm going to say to the audience and even the people out in social media land, it is time to break vicious cycles. That sums it up. It is about breaking vicious cycles for your children and for yourself first, then your children, and then for your community. It is time for us to take off those masks that we are wearing. It is time for us to understand that it is not about your material wealth and your good looks. It is about the capacity of how you think and those vibrations that you're acting on and that you're working on. It is time for a change. We are living in a time right now when it is critical for everybody. It's not about black, it's not about white, it is about rich and it is about poor. You better believe that.
Right.
And you need to be in your right frame of mind to be able to take care of your kids. Don't let it be like predicted years ago, they're gonna take away welfare, so you better go ahead on and get educated and da. Don't let those warnings keep falling on deaf ears. It is time for us to act. It is time for us to transform, reform our minds, our communities, and our children. Thank you.
I would like to say, I'm sorry, what was the question? Closing remarks.
You got it, baby.
No, I was just thinking that you can do this, because if you find yourself feeling ashamed and just like self-pity, you might not do it. But if you just step out there, your tribe will immediately come. It's like when I stepped out there, my sister drove all the way from Florida. My other sister got on a plane from New York. It was like everybody came to my rescue. And you have people there that will come to your rescue. You are not alone. So I just want you to know that. Even strangers will come. I remember confessing it to people and, oh my God, I went through that. I didn't even know these people that I've known like for several years that they had experienced the same thing I had just experienced. So you're not alone. So just understand that if you just come out, I know you might be scared, but there are people waiting to just rescue you from that situation. You may think you don't have enough money, you don't have shelter, you don't have clothes, whatever it is, there's somebody there that will help you. So please reach out. That's all I have to say. You don't have to suffer in silence.
Again, I'm reintroducing myself. I am Nikki Henry O'Neill. I am a domestic violence survivor, domestic violence life coach, and advocate. Here's sounding the alarm again. Ring, 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 ring. I'm helping to break that silence, helping you to come out. I want to be of assistance to you. I want to be at your beck and call. I want to help you rebuild your life while leaving an abusive relationship or while you're still in it. I want to focus on your healing, your empowerment. I want to be your crisis support system, resource connection, safety planning, legal aid advocacy, and domestic violence education and awareness. I'm here for you. So if you're feeling some type of way and you don't have anyone in your sister circle, you have a group of circle of friends and sisters here right around you that will deal in confidentiality. And if you'd like to reach out to me, if you need someone to talk to, you can reach out to me, B2B, victim to victor, because we're not going to stay victims. We coming out. And the number is 919-444-6158. 919-444-6158. Or you can reach me by email, domestic violence, just the letters DMB, advocate B2B @gmail.com. Again, DMB, advocate B2B @gmail.com.
I'm sorry, I forgot to give my information. My information, we are Mary Magdalene Ministries. That's Mary Magdalene, and most people spell Magdalene wrong. So it's Magdalene. Ministries, more than one. B as in boy, V as in Victor, C as in Charlie. Breaking vicious cycles. So it's Mary Magdalene Ministries, BVC@gmail.com. The number is 919-523-7687. Please reach out anytime. We're here for you.
Janae, I'm sorry, I done gave you a whole new name.
That's
Okay,
okay.
that's okay. Janae?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you ladies for sharing your story. That takes a lot of courage. It shows you guys have resilience. And I want to thank Genevieve for actually inviting me to be a part of this panel.
Right.
And again, remember that you're not alone. There's resources out there to help you. Again, stay strong.
Thank you. And thank you, Jenna.
You welcome.
Jenny.
You know, we all study.
Jenny. I was going to give you another name too.
Thank you.
Once again, my name is Diamnd with the Diamond Foundation and breaking the cycle of domestic violence and sex trafficking. We talked about a lot of stuff and we meant everything we said. We're here for you. We've been there, done that, and we want you to get out. Don't think that you have to stay because of the other person. You don't owe them nothing. You owe yourself everything.
Because of fear.
Don't stay because of fear. All that's going to leave you is you're going to die, your children going to die, and your kids, if they don't die, they're going to be left alone. The court system does not care. A piece of paper is not going to save you. Because if somebody want to kill you, they're going to kill you. You have to learn how to fight back. You have to learn how to take your power back. That's why we are the power of women.
This is not love.
And somebody hitting you, and then 5 minutes later and saying they love you, that's a lie. They don't even love themselves. They're a narcissist. So please, if you need me, I'm here at the Diamond Foundation at yahoo.com. My number is 919-986-4887. That's 919-986-4887. You can reach me at any time. And if you can't reach me, text me. Because I'll pick up a text message in a minute. So text me. In a minute, I'll be there. Come back, boots and all.
We're all here.
And we're all here. We're all here. All my sisters, because they are my sisters. And we are not playing that. We are breaking the cycle of domestic violence.
Here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Or in the East Triangle area, in the
But it's
whole
standpoint.
East Triangle area.
Yes.
And wherever
Where
you are.
to find us is here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we want to thank you. You've been watching Story
Thank you.
Time with Shout Crystal. Story Time with Shout Crystal. Please, please, please make sure you take a moment, subscribe to the channel. If you go back, you'll see the session I did with some of these ladies last week. Again, on the 28th, I have another session coming up with Deirdre Miller. It's going to be a great session. And I was trying to wait for that siren to go past because it was just buzzing. But we definitely want you to come on out. If you have a story that you want to share, whether it's a business like this young lady talked about, her painting, if you have an organization, a business, a success story, a traumatic story, whatever it is, let us know and we're happy to share. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm your hope catalyst, and I would say keep hope alive. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. On that note, I'll see you on the next story time, which is actually 9 p.m. tonight when I come with Hit 'em Hard. So I have a live show tonight. My goodness, tune back in at 9 p.m. tonight. See you on the next story time. I love you. Thank you for watching.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
We did it.
Hold on. Don't move that. Don't move that. Just a second, lady.
catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.